Okay, so in this video, we're going to continue with the solutions to the Assessment 1, Type 1 of MT3, Expansion and Factorization of Algebraic Expressions. So in the first video, we already, I already explained how to answer number 1A and 1B. So we'll continue with number 1C. In 1C, we are supposed to expand x plus 2 and then x minus 6. Okay, so I'll show you two different methods on how to simplify this expression. Okay, so method number 1. Okay, so method number 1 comes from the distributive property, which is actually the more formal way of simplifying x plus 2 times x minus 6. So again, a times b plus c is ab plus ac. Now, so how do we apply this to x plus 2 times x minus 6? So this is how you do it. So think of x plus 2 as a single letter or a single group. Okay, so that means you have to multiply that to x and then you multiply it to 6. So you distribute x plus 2 to x and to minus 6. So what will happen if I distribute that to x and minus 6? So the x will get x plus 2, and then the minus 6 will get an x plus 2. So notice how the x plus 2 was distributed to x and minus 6. Now, once you have this, then all you can do, or all you have to do is to apply again the distributive law. So x times x, again, x times x is equal to x squared. So x times x is x squared, x times 2 is 2x, and then minus 6 or negative 6 times x is negative 6x, negative 6 times 2 is negative 12, so you write minus 12. And then combine any similar terms. X squared is just x squared, so you leave it as x squared, while 2x minus 4x, so 2x, you have 2x and then minus 6x, so that means 2 minus 6 is negative 4, so minus 4, and then x, and then minus 12. So that's the expanded form of x plus 2 times x minus 6 using the distributive law, which is what we have right now as method 1. Okay, so what is an alternative way of expanding this? So most textbooks will do this, or will show you a solution following a method called the FOIL method. Okay, so the FOIL method is actually the order of the steps that you have to perform when it comes to multiplying the terms. The F stands for the first terms. The O means the outer terms. The I for the inner terms. And then L for the last terms. So what are these first, outer, inner, and last terms? Now take a look at the given expression. Now in each group, so see you have two groups, the x plus 2 and x minus 6. In every group, you have a first term. So in this group, x is the first term. In the second group, x is also the first term. Now, if you take a look at the whole thing, x and 6 are on the outer part of the expression. That is why they use the term outer. Okay, so x and 6 or minus 6 are the outer terms, and then 2 and x are the inner terms, so within or inside. Okay, so x and minus 6 again are the outer terms, and then 2 and x are the inner terms. So those are the pair of expressions or terms that you can multiply. And then the last term, so again, if we have the first terms to be x and x, so in each group, the last terms or the last term in each group will be on the first, the last term is 2, and then on the second, the last term is minus 6 or negative 6. So performing the FOIL, so we multiply the first and the first, the x and the x. So x times x is x squared. and then multiply the outer terms. X and minus 6 or negative 6 will give you negative 6x, so we have minus 6x. The inner is 2 times x, so we have plus 2x, that's positive. And then the last is positive 2 and minus 6, so that's minus 12. So we have x squared minus 4x minus 12 as the expanded form of x plus 2 and x minus 6. Now if you take a look at what we obtained on the first method, we have x squared minus 4x minus 12, which is the same as what we have obtained in the second method. Okay, so method 2, so that's what we use. We call it the FOIL method. Okay, so there might be other ways on how to expand the expressions, but for now, so I'll just limit it to 2 methods. So the method 1 to be the distributive law, so applying the distributive law, and then the method 2 is the FOIL method. Okay, so let's proceed to the next one. We have letter D, so we have to expand x minus 3 and then x minus 7. Okay, so for now, let's use one method. Let's apply the distributive law for this. So we have x, so x will get an x minus 3, and then minus 7 will be multiplied to x minus 3 as well. Okay, so x times x minus 3 minus 7 times x minus 3. And then x times x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x, so we have minus 3x. And then minus 7x for this, and then plus 21. And then, so you have to combine similar terms. X squared minus 3x minus 7x is minus 10x, and then plus 21. So that's the expanded form of x minus 3 times x minus 7. Okay, so moving on, let's try letter E. We have x minus 3y multiplied to x plus 2y. So since we applied the distributive law on the letter D, let's apply the FOIL method on letter E, so that you could see how the other method is done also in other problems. So using the FOIL method, we multiply the first and the first. So x times x is x squared. The outer is x times 2y. So positive 2y times x, that's 2xy. And then the inner, so that's minus 3xy. And then the last terms, so 3y and 2y. So minus 3y or negative 3y times 2y is negative 6y squared. And then combine like terms or similar terms. X squared is just x squared. 2xy minus 3xy. So 2 minus 3, so that's negative 1. So negative 1xy or negative xy. And then minus 6y squared. Okay, so that's the expanded form of x minus 3y times x plus 2y. Okay, and then let's add one more. So letter F. So in letter F, we have 3a plus 4 and then a minus 7. So let's apply the FOIL method again. So we have 3a times a, that's 3a squared. Then the outer is negative 7 times 3a or 3a times negative 7, negative 21a. And then inner is 4 times a is 4a. And then the last 4 times negative 7 is negative 28. And then this is 3a squared minus 21 plus 4. So negative 21 plus 4 is negative 17. So that's minus 17a minus 28. So that's the expanded form of 3a plus 4 times a minus 7. Now, if you notice, we just keep on adding the second and the third term. So some people will actually do that in one step. So even before going even before writing the second step or the first step, they do it mentally. Like, they know that 7 minus 7 and 3a will become minus 21a, so they note that down in their head. So minus 21a, and then 4 times a is 4a. So mentally, minus 21 plus 4 is negative 17. So they could go directly to the second step. Okay, so in that way they could multiply the expressions faster. Okay, so that's one way of simplifying your solution. Okay, so for now, we'll cut the video here, and then I'll make another video for the succeeding problems. Okay.